Imagine believing in a love story for years, only to find out it was built on a lie so big it hurts. That's exactly what's happening in Remy Ma and Papoose's family right now. Picture it. Papoose stood by Remy through every storm. Her, prison sentence, wild industry rumors, and non-stop album releases. He was her rock, her champion, the stepfather who raised her son Jason like his own blood. But behind closed doors, a secret has been simmering for 2 decades, and it finally exploded into full view at a private family dinner. It all started with an anonymous DNA test, just a plain manila folder showing that Papoose isn't Jason's biological father. No name on the front, just lab results and a single note. Ask Remy who the real dad is. Word of that test spread fast. Rumors said it arrived at the studio in a mysterious envelope, and everyone pointed fingers at Fat Joe, Remy's longtime mentor and close friend. Fans scrolled back through old interviews and backstage clips, suddenly convinced Joe was Jason's real parent. When Papoose first heard about the test, he didn't lash out or storm off. Instead, at that Jersey mansion dinner meant to heal old wounds, he quietly asked Jason to ask his mother for the truth. But Jason had already seen the results and knew what they said. Anger and betrayal exploded through him. He jumped up, shoved the table over, and screamed, "You're not my dad. Stop pretending you ever were." Fists flew, glass shattered, and Papoose ended up flat on the floor, clutching a bruised rib while Jason stormed out. Paramedics arrived within minutes to find Papoose with a cut on his forehead and a spirit crushed by heartbreak. He was rushed to a private hospital under an alias, with only a hooded nurse to witness his gold teeth and matching chain. Photos leaked online, and suddenly social media was ablaze. Remy Ma, who normally stands tall and speaks in bold bars, went silent. No tweets, no Queen of Queens posts, just eerie quiet. Jason broke his silence hours later with a brief Instagram story. "I said what had to be said. No cap in my DNA." Fans are torn. Some defend him, saying any kid would feel betrayed after learning their stepdad raised them under false pretenses. Others call him ungrateful, blaming him for attacking the man who loved him and protected him for years. Meanwhile, Fat Joe went live from a boxing gym the next morning, shadowboxing and posting, "Stay ready so you don't have to get ready." His timing set off a fresh wave of speculation. Was he throwing subtle shade or just working on his footwork? Either way, viewers couldn't help but see that every jab landed on the rumor mill. Then came the bombshell TikTok. A woman claiming to be Remy's former best friend stepped onto the scene with receipts. She said, "Back in the day, Remy and Joe were sneaking around on tour. Everybody knew. Papoose suspected it, but he loved Remy so much he looked the other way." That clip racked up millions of views, making it clear these whispers had simmered for years. Under fire from all angles, Remy's team scrambled into damage control mode. Sources say her lawyers filed takedown requests, but the anonymous Truth for Pap account only doubled down, teasing voice notes and photos from as far back as 2005. Internet sleuths dug up a 2007 episode of 106 & Park, where Remy joked, "Fat Joe always gets me out of trouble." Now that old quip felt less like a joke and more like a confession. As the scandal deepened, insiders revealed leaked text messages allegedly from Remy to Jason. "Please don't bring up Joe. Remember our agreement? It wasn't supposed to matter. Papoose raised you like his own." Another text read, "Joe knew all along, but respected Pap too much to say anything." If real, those messages confirm the worst fears. Remy and Joe had a secret long ago. Papoose unknowingly raised another man's child, and everyone kept quiet for decades. The fallout isn't just personal, it's a full-blown culture quake. Hip-hop's code of loyalty, represented by 2 artists who built careers on honesty and second chances, now feels like a sham. Teyana Taylor, Cardi B, and other stars are weighing in. One post read, "You can't fake family forever," while another lamented, "This is why social media is poisonous." Even longtime fans of Terror Squad are asking if they ever knew the truth. At the center of this storm is Papoose, lying in a hospital bed, his body battered and his heart broken. He hasn't spoken to Jason since the fight. Remy Ma, once a symbol of strength and resilience, has retreated online, deleting hundreds of posts and updating her Instagram bio simply to healing. Jason, fueled by rage and the revelations, drops subtle shade in his clears. No matter whose side you're on, you can't ignore the ache in his words. Fat Joe's next move could shape the whole saga. If he steps up to claim paternity, Jason might switch his last name to Cartagena. If he stays silent, he'll be accused of cowardice or guilt. Remy's legal team threatens defamation suits left and right. But in an era where gossip spreads at the speed of a smartphone tap, some stories never die. Now that the walls have crumbled, what's left for this family? Will they sue, reconcile, or disappear from the spotlight forever? One thing is certain, this isn't the end. It's only the explosive opening chapter in a saga of love and lies that will rewrite everything we thought we knew about loyalty, family, and truth in hip-hop. And somewhere, Netflix and Hulu are already drafting their pitches. So stay tuned. This family's final act is far from written. The fallout from Remy Ma and Papoose's family dinner has pushed them from hip-hop's power couple to headline fodder. What began as whispers about a secret DNA test exploded into a full-blown brawl, literally. During what was supposed to be a peaceful talk in a Jersey mansion, Jason Scott, Remy's eldest, suddenly snapped at Papoose. He shoved the table, screamed that Papoose was never his real dad, and punched him until paramedics rushed in. Papoose ended up in the hospital, with bruises, stitches, and a broken spirit. Just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Fat Joe's camp spoke up. His manager, Big Lou, went live on Instagram to say Joe had nothing to hide. He didn't father any kids. Then he dropped a cryptic line. If people want to dig into 2003, remember why Pap stayed quiet all these years. Fans read that as a clear threat, and hashtags like "Share what Pap knew" and "Joe knows too much" started trending. Suddenly, this isn't just family drama, it's legal warfare. Sponsors yanked Remy's planned documentary on re-entering society after prison, citing morality clauses. Papoose's new hosting gig on a relationship network was put on ice because networks don't want a bruised face and public custody battles associated with their brand. Even Jason chimed in, posting a black and white image with the caption, "You can't lie for 20 years and then play victim." Late last night, a nurse secretly recorded Papoose in his hospital room. He sighed. "I should have walked away long ago. I believed in us, but the paint peeled and I don't recognize the picture anymore." That line went viral. 50 Cent reposted it. Lil Mo commented, "That cut deep." And DJ Khaled quietly tweeted, "They didn't believe. Truth showed up." Remy, meanwhile, vanished online. She deleted hundreds of Instagram photos in an hour and changed her bio to a single word: healing. Pap hasn't returned any calls, and insiders say Remy's lawyers have filed takedown requests against the anonymous Truth for Pap account. But every takedown only made that account tease more leaks. Voice notes, photos, and DMs from as far back as 2005. Then the final twist. A second DNA test is now being ordered, not for Jason, but for another child Remy says Papoose fathered outside their marriage. If that test proves true, it means both Remy and Pap were raising children that aren't biologically theirs. Suddenly, betrayal runs both ways. This saga has stripped away every bit of the couple's carefully crafted image. No public apology or heartfelt live stream will glue these fragments back together. Their empire, once built on loyalty and love, is now in shambles. So where do they go from here? Papoose in recovery, Jason throwing shade, Remy hidden away, and Fat Joe shadowboxing for Dad of the Year. This story isn't over. Every new leak peels back another layer of lies. Fans are left wondering, was Jason wrong to attack the man who raised him? Can Remy ever be forgiven? And if Fat Joe really is the father, how do you rebuild a life on top of 20 years of secrets? In hip-hop, Loyalty is everything. When that bond breaks, the whole house of cards comes crashing down. Now it's your turn. Should Jason have defended himself? Or was he too harsh? Does Remy deserve mercy? Or should the truth expose her fully? Drop your thoughts below, subscribe for the real tea, and hit the bell, because the next twist is always just a leak away.